Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. When you look at the book of Numbers, chapter 8, begins saying, God spoke to Moses saying, speak to your brother Aaron and say to him, B'halotcha et hanerot, when you kindle the candles of the menorah, the candles of the candelabra, el mul penei ha-menorah, they should be facing towards the face of the menorah. That's how ya'iru shivat hanerot. That's how the 7 candles should glow, should be lit. Question, what does this mean? Well, literally what it's saying is, there were 7 candles. You had the middle stem, and then you had the 3 branches coming out on either side. Thus, what God is saying is that the wicks should be situated in such a manner, the cups were designed in such a manner that the wicks were facing inward to the pnei ha-menorah, towards facing the face, the middle stem, which is called, quote unquote, the face of the menorah. What does this mean? What does this represent? What does this say for us? Well, what does that middle candle represent? The sages tell us that that is representative, that is symbolic of, quote, the Pnei HaShechina, literally translated the face of God's presence. Of course, God is present in the entire world, but there are some places, such as in the Holy Temple, where God makes his presence even more felt, even more, quote, present. He makes it in a manner that it's more felt. Thus, the middle stem of the menorah actually represents that, God's presence. It just straight up. The wick is in the center and it burns straight upwards. Thus, what God is saying is the other 6 candles should all face inward, should all face towards the face of the menorah, quote unquote, God's presence. What does this tell us? What does this say for us? Perhaps look at it this way. The other 6 candles all represent the various expressions. Not everybody is the same. God did not make us cookie cutter. In fact, as the Talmud tells us, that no 2 people look alike, no 2 people think alike. It's impossible. Even father and son, mother and daughter, there's typically great similarity in the way they look, but never exactly alike with the exact same features. Certainly we don't think alike. 2 people, the best of friends, they may think and perhaps react similarly because of their acquaintance with each other, but never exactly the same. We aren't the same. Even husband and wife, parent and child, we can never think exactly the same. Thus, we're not meant to be expressive in the same manner. There's many different ways, but the way it's broken down here, without getting into the detail, that there are 6 general means, 6 general, so to speak, categories of expression. And God says they're all good, insofar that they all face inward. They all face towards the middle one, all symbolizing, expressing the fact that they are all inspired by and all directed by, and therefore all are being, so to speak, kindled. They're being ignited by that middle candle, which represents God's felt presence. And this tells us we all have our own means of expression. And of course, it has to follow the rules. It has to follow the exact directives of the Torah, how Hashem told us to express it. But at the same time, no one expression is greater than the other. Some people express themselves this way. Some people express themselves that way. Some people have a talent more, let's say, in the musical aspect of it. Some people have a talent sometimes in the prayer or liturgy aspect of it. Some people have a greater talent in the study aspect of it. Some people have a greater talent in their love of God. Some people have a greater talent and are more successful in their fear of God, so on and so forth. God is telling us all of them are good, and all of them belong to the same candelabra. They all illuminate the world, but that is so far, and as long as they're all facing inward, they're all being inspired, and they're all being directed by that middle branch, which represents God's will, God's presence in this world.